to witness something amazing, something incredible. And two people, Ken and Tracy, come together as husband and wife. This commitment is between two people who met each other. And the odds are that they fell in love. And they're here to declare before the people closest to them exactly what they mean to each other. Yet, ladies and gentlemen, keep in mind that today is also for you, because a day like this reminds us of what's truly important in all our lives and why we get married. Ken and Tracy, their story begins in 2011. They met at work, actually. Tracy and Ken at the time worked in different companies but shared the same office. As Tracy walked up to the reception for her first day on the job, nervous, fresh and bright, there was a meeting room just behind with the door closed. And who does she see but Ken looking out from that meeting room, staring at her, obviously checking her out. And the first thought that came to her mind was, oh my God, what a perv. I can't deal with this right now. But as anyone would know, Tracy is incredibly friendly. She's the type to say hi to everyone. Not Ken. He doesn't say hello. He does initiate conversations. And over time she wondered, first he perved at me, but now for some reason he doesn't want to talk to me. What's the matter? What's the problem? And every attempt that Tracy made of being friendly and smiling was met with a very quiet and awkward Ken. A few months later at a work party, Tracy thought, okay, what gives? She's had enough. So she goes right up to his face, looks him square in the eye, confronts Ken about his behavior. Why don't you ever talk to me? And he said something that she'll remember for the rest of her life. Because you make me nervous. At first, Tracy was dumbstruck, and then it hit her, and she recognized the circumstance she was in. And ladies and gentlemen, you have no idea how happy hearing that made Tracy feel. In fact, she was so happy she asked him out. They went to Shoya for dinner, and it was a degustation menu, so it wasn't exactly a chill hangout between friends. And she shouted him the meal, and it was technically their first date. And I say this technically because Ken disagreed and thought he was just eating for free. So it was Ken's turn, and he took Tracy out to Stokehouse, which then burnt down. Those two are not related. And they had a wonderful conversation between each other, and it flowed, and there was laughs and good vibes. And when they had that talk, everything changed because he asked her if she wanted to be his girlfriend, and she said okay. Our couple have been on many adventures since, all across the globe together. They've traveled to New York, Machu Picchu, Hong Kong and Fiji. When we last caught up, they actually planned to go on honeymoon in Kenya, was that right? At one point. But that actually changed to France and Iceland. They're great travel buddies together and always have had an awesome time. Ken never asks for directions, and Tracy is super organized. Tracy loves that Ken is a bit of a handyman and can get things done. So here's a question for all of those following along. Ladies and gentlemen, how much do you think Ken loves going to Bunnings? Trick question. Ken pretty much lives at Bunnings. Ken is handy around the house. Ask him about the shelf that he built. He will tell you all about it. And Tracy and Ken, they share a budget. And that's how she finds out that she finds random expenses made out to Bunnings on her credit card. Ken, nonetheless, wears the pants in the relationship. He's incredibly supportive of her career, and he makes life fun. And he's an amazing cook, from what I can hear. Tracy, not so much. If Tracy cooked, it's one thing, and one thing only, and you have dinner at 9 o'clock. And there will be a meltdown, for sure, I guarantee you. Ken, like all of us, isn't perfect. In the pursuit of the perfect brunch and coffee, he will cover great distances on foot just to find a place he likes. He's yet to settle his favorite place. Sometimes, Tracy does not know if he's listening or not. She checks in regularly to see if they're still on the same wavelength. Ken loves that Tracy is incredibly caring and considerate and passionate. She's the type of person to put everyone else's needs before her own. She's sweet, inclusive, always friendly, always easy to smile. She brings out the best in people. And Ken finds that Tracy has this annoying capacity to ask the same question over and over again. He would answer her, but a moment later she would ask the same question. She can get carried away with the frequency and expenditure of her online shopping habits. She's the sort of person at work with random deliveries made to the office. Ken proposed to Tracy this time last year in Tasmania. Tracy technically booked her own engagement because it was a trip she organised. It was a nice hotel, and they had a lot of fun, and they were just getting ready to check out, and she's sitting on the couch with all her things ready to go. She's telling him, let's go, let's go. But Ken had something on his mind, and he decided to draw out his packing progress. And he took forever. And then he came right up to Tracy, knelt down, his face in front of hers, and goes, "Do you want to marry me?" "Yeah, all right," she says. In this part of our conversation, Ken starts freaking out about not getting a nicer location. But there are no backseas in a proposal. Once you propose, it's out there. And I love that you have that about your story, about your marriage. Because it wasn't a matter of if, but when. You guys both appreciate the environment, you got good humor, you guys are easy to laugh, you guys are happy to create new memories together. There's traveling, and you love being outdoors. And I love that you're so excited to start your new chapter of your lives together. Ladies and gentlemen, a good marriage must be created. In marriage, the small things are the big things. It's never being too old to hold hands as you do today. Remember to say, "I love you," at least once a day, and never go to sleep angry. Stand tall and face the world together as one, and appreciate each other in thoughtful ways. But out of everything I just said, the most important is this. It's not only marrying the right person, it's in being the right partner. Now, this lesson is something you'll learn throughout your years together. As a celebrant, I am duly authorized by law to solemnize marriages according to law. Before you are joined in marriage, in my presence and in the presence of these here witnesses, I am to remind you of the solemn and binding nature of the relationship into which you are now about to enter. Marriage, according to law in Australia, is a union between two people to the exclusion of all others, voluntarily entered into for life. May I now have the rings? This is going to seal the deal. Ken and Tracy, you have chosen to exchange rings as a symbol of your everlasting love. Love freely given has neither beginning nor end. May these rings always remind you of the promises you've made today. So Tracy first. I'll be asking you a question, so just place it on the tip of his finger. Tracy, do you take Ken to be your husband?
I do.
Do you promise to love, honour, cherish and protect him, forsaking all others until the very end of your days?
Do?
With that, place his ring upon his finger.
This is the legal part, so just repeat it.
I call upon
The persons
the persons
here present
here present
to witness that
to witness that I,
Tracy Whaling
Tracy Whaling Ho, take you, Kenneth Check Ken Low,
to be my lawful
to be my lawful
wedded husband.
wedded husband.
Very well said. That's good.
Ken, do you take Tracy to be your wife?
I do.
Do you promise to love, honor, cherish, and protect her, forsaking all others until the very end of your days?
I do.
And with that, place a ring upon her finger.
I call upon thee, persons here present, to witness that I, Kenneth Check and Learn, take you, Tracy Whaling Hope, to be my lawful wedded wife.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's all very well for me to ask them, but in their own words that they've been meaning to hear all day, this is their promises to one another. Ladies first.
Ken. People say you just know when you know. And I've known for a really long time I want to spend the rest of my life with you. And now today, I get to start the rest of my life with you. You found your way into every aspect of my life. My goals, my hopes, my aspirations. I am so enriched because of you. Today I make these vows to you. I will love you and support you in all your forms, present and future. I will not forget that this is a once-in-a-lifetime love. I will fight for us, and I will remember that we are a stronger team together than when we are apart. I will appreciate all that you do for me behind the scenes and remind you that every success I have in my life is because you are there to hold me steady. And finally, I want to finish with a quote from one of the greatest writers of all time, Taylor Swift. It's a love story, baby. Just say yes.
Tracy, I love you with all my heart. You're the most generous, caring, selfless person I know, and I promise to always respect you. I will laugh with you through the best of times, even when your jokes aren't that funny, and will support you through the worst. I promise to stand by your side through whatever life throws at us, to be the shoulder to cry on, and lend a voice of reason whenever you need it. I will encourage you and support you on the path to greatness, as well as work together to achieve any and every goal we have. I vow to continue being your personal exterminator, to wake up at any hour when you need a massage, and obviously be your personal chef. You are my best friend, my confidant, and I consider myself extremely lucky to be the one able to call you my wife. I love you. I can't wait to begin the next chapter of our lives.
Here we go. Hand in hand. Ken and Tracy, I would ask that you always remind yourselves daily of what brought you together to this very moment. Give the highest priority to the kindness that your marriage deserves. When things are difficult or frustrating for you, focus on what is right between you, not only on the part that seems wrong. This way, when clouds of trouble hide the sun in your lives, and you lose sight of it for just a moment, remember that the sun is still there. And if you both take responsibility for the quality of your life together, it will be marked by abundance and happiness. By the power vested in me by the Attorney General's Department of Australia, I have the great pleasure of announcing you as husband and wife. You may now kiss as husband and wife. Ladies and gentlemen, big noise. Ken and Tracy. Ladies and gentlemen, happy with that kiss? I think we could do another one. One more for the cameras. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, what we'll do is we're not quite finished with the ceremony, but you feel free to speak amongst yourselves while we sign the marriage documents, and we'll be right with you shortly. Thank you very much.